Down here I have an M2 Pro Mac Mini, the base model version, and in this video I'm going to try and break it with music production in Logic Pro. So I've been talking about it for quite a while now, I know, but my little mini music production studio is starting to take shape. It's very makeshift at the moment. It will be something slightly more impressive than this, I promise. However, I also promised that I would really put the M2 Pro Mac Mini to task with music production, and that's what I'm going to do today. I spent yesterday afternoon building this track in Logic Pro, and I purposefully used as many third-party plugins as possible. I used stuff from Waves, Sound Toys, Korg, Valhalla, Spectrasonics, Arturia, Native Instruments, Baby Audio. Basically, I wanted to throw as much at this system as possible. In this video, I'm going to take it a step further and see what it takes to break the M2 Pro Mac Mini. This is the base model version with 16 gig of RAM, the 512 gig SSD, and it set me back £1,399. So let's see what it takes to bring this thing to a grinding halt. I just want to talk about the experience of using this M2 Pro Mac Mini to build this track yesterday, because I've been making music personally, not professionally at all. You've not heard anything I've made, I promise, for a long time, since about the age of 12 or 13. So I know my way around things like Logic, and equally, I know what it's like to use a very slow computer for music production versus a very fast computer. And a great example of that is my 16-inch M1 Max MacBook Pro. That cost me £3,700 back in 2021, and obviously that smashes tasks like this. But when you spend £1,399 on a Mac Mini, a base spec M2 Pro Mac Mini, I need a lot of convincing when it comes to how much that thing can do in terms of music production. But the experience yesterday was absolutely amazing. So I've got 23 tracks here. There's a whole bunch of MIDI tracks which are using loads and loads of plugins. And when I was building this track, it was so fluid. There were no pauses, no beach balls. In fact, no, there was one beach ball, but that was when one plugin crashed, which I don't think was down to the Mac Mini. I think I've had that problem with that plugin before, so we'll let that go. But apart from that, it was such a smooth experience. So making the music was very straightforward. Exporting the music was unbelievably quick. I did this recently with the 8 or 16 podcast. I exported that on this M2 Pro Mac Mini, and I genuinely couldn't believe how quickly the progress bar was going across. That was the same thing with this track yesterday. But that's not enough for me, because I really want to see what it takes to bring this thing to its knees. Before I break this thing, just a very quick word from today's sponsor, which is SaneBox. Now, I've been using SaneBox recently to save myself hours of time managing my email. But I want to quickly highlight one of the best features in SaneBox, which is the Deep Clean. And the best thing about Deep Clean is that you can use it for free. All you do is sign up for a free trial at the SaneBox website, and then you can cancel whenever you want. You don't have to put credit card details in. There's absolutely no obligation. And I do recommend doing that because Deep Clean prevents you from reaching for that delete all button, which we've all done with our inboxes to get rid of all that rubbish. But in doing that, you tend to get rid of emails that you should have kept as well. Instead, Deep Clean gives you a list of the emails that you can delete, grouped by sender, so you can very quickly see which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to delete. And then you can just delete the rubbish. It's so easy. It removes all of the stress from email management. And as we know, email clutter is a massive drain on your resources, on your productivity. And by using Deep Clean, you can stop paying for storage space that you don't need. So to gain a complete fresh start with your email, imagine that, check out the link in my description. SaneBox does an awful lot more than this Deep Clean feature, but go and check it out. It has saved me so much time over the last few weeks. Right, let's try and break this thing. So, as mentioned earlier, I've got 23 tracks sitting here with loads of stuff going on. If I just quickly open some of the stuff that is running on this, you can get an idea of how much is going on behind the scenes. So if we start with the instruments, we've got Massive X here. There's one Massive X there. There's another Massive X here. This is Native Instruments. Pretty chunky stuff. There's a DX7 here from Arturia. Another DX7 there. Two of those. You can see they're opening quite quickly as well. No big deal there. There's an Omnisphere here. This is a very serious synth. But there's one there. Not just one though. I've got one there. another omnisphere here, another omnisphere here, and another omnisphere here. So that's 4 omnispheres, which is serious. What else have we got? We've also got a Prophet as well. That's running there. Poly 6. We've got some drum machine designers, which are built-in Logic drum machine tools, if you like, and some samplers and stuff. And that's just the instruments. So beyond that, I've also got loads of effects running as well. So we've got things like loads of Valhallas. So a lot of these tracks have got Valhalla Room, which is like a reverb, basically. Again, it requires quite a bit of processing to run, but there's quite a few of these running as well. We've got a compressor here from Baby Audio. A lot of Baby Audio stuff, actually. Another one here, which is a tape plugin, basically. What else have we got? We've got Decapitator, which is a brilliantly named tool from Sound Toys. What else? SSL channel strips. So these are really serious, actually. These kind of emulate old, kind of analog mixing desks. And I've got loads of these on here. There's one there. There's another one there. There's an SSL compressor here as well. It goes on and on. Another compressor there. I won't go through all of them, but there's loads of stuff. Oh, and a pedal board as well, I think. Pedal board here as well, which is a built-in Logic guitar pedal effect thing. So loads and loads of stuff running. Let me just very quickly close all of these, which I won't bore you with. So let me just get this playing. So again, very responsive, no delays. I can move around here. I can add things in. I can come onto here, add, let's say, another SSL channel strip or compressor. No problem whatsoever. Start messing around with it. Now, what I'm about to do isn't the sort of thing that you would do when you're making music, because I'm just going to keep duplicating things until this thing starts to slow down. And that isn't the way that you make music. The resulting thing will sound horrendous, so I won't play you the entire thing back, but let's just see what we need to do. So I'm just going to keep duplicating stuff. And the great thing with Logic is that you can very easily just click this button here and keep adding. So this is duplicating the tracks that I've got here already. It's creating them fairly quickly. We've got a Triton, a Korg Triton here. This tends to run quite slowly, even on fairly quick Macs. So when I say slowly, it can be a bit slow to open. Let me just try it now. So no, not too bad actually. Right, let's duplicate that as well. Let's create a whole bunch of those. Okay, it's created them. Oh, beach ball. We've got a beach ball. Oh, no, it's done, I think. Has it loaded them in? It has. Here they are. So it's slowly coming up, actually. There's a little bit of delay there. If we go into the mixer, we can probably see. The mixer gives us a bit of a wider view of what's going on here. So getting a few beach balls now. Oh, loading plugins. We can see here, actually, it's loading all those plugins in. Wow. So this... Oh, crikey. So this... I've basically duplicated that Triton channel strip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 times. And it's loaded them all in. Can I open them all up? Yeah, I can. They're all here. Do they play back? Can I play back without any latency? No. Or is that because it's muted? It is playing back the audio. I can switch between these different little compositions. That's very quick. Okay, well let's go into one of these synths. So, oh, it is working. I'll tell you what, actually, guys, this is all live. This is what happens when you record something without editing. Things go wrong. But I think it's actually my controller keyboard. So ignore that, because I can tell it's working, because I can press the keys on the screen, and it's fine. So if I go back to the Triton, it's still working. It's my controller keyboard has stopped working. Whether or not that's to do with the Mac Mini, I don't know. But we'll put that to one side, because I don't think that's an issue with the Mac Mini. It's still running. It hasn't crashed. It's got all these tracks. Let's carry on. Let's keep duplicating stuff. So let's pick another one that's got quite a lot going on. So We've got this Massive X. So Massive X is quite a serious instrument. So let's duplicate a bunch of those tracks as well. So we'll just keep hitting duplicate. There we go, loads of them. Go back into the mixer. It's slowing down a little bit here. It's not responding immediately. Beach ball. Okay, where's my mixer? There we are, there it is. And we can see again, if I scroll across, it's loading in these. It's doing it very quickly. And again, it's loading in Massive X, so it's loading in a very serious instrument, but it's also loading in 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty serious plugins. One of which is a Waves plugin, and then we've got the 2 Waves plugins, sorry, the Comeback Kid from Baby Audio, and another Valhalla Room. I dread to think how many Valhalla Rooms I've got running here. Get rid of that, and what I'm going to do is grab a whole bunch of these. So again, we've got 57 tracks, 57 audio files. If I do this, I think, here we go. So I'm going to create 57 new audio tracks on top of everything else we've got. Surely this will break it. Let's see. Create new tracks. Beach ball. It's done it. They're all there. This will sound horrendous. So let's let's see what this sounds like. Are you ready for this? Wow. I've invented a new form of music here. Amazing. I can still move around. Is that right? 394 tracks? Okay, no, not that many. Let me count them up quickly. No, I won't count them up. There's loads of tracks here. You can see how many tracks there are here. There's just tons of them, and it hasn't crashed yet. It's still working. So, how do we break it? Do I just have to keep duplicating things? Let's just keep doing it. Let's go. Okay, let's just keep duplicating. Let's do loads more mass. Can I do that? Can I do it bulk? Let's just keep going. Loads. How many Massive X's do I need to add to this project to make this Mac Mini die? Honestly, it's just... Okay, things are getting a bit slow now. Again, it's warm, but it's not... The fans are... Let me just check the fans. No. There's nothing. There's no fan noise. Like I say, it's marginally warm, but nothing terrible. There is a beach ball now, though. And that beach ball has been on the screen for quite a while. Oh, it stopped. Okay, so if we go into the mixer now, here we go. Look, here they come. Massive X, Massive X. I mean, they're all there as well. It's not as though it's kind of, well, I don't know technically what it's doing. It looks like they're all there. I mean, if I start opening them, they are all there. And they're all, you can use them. Look, I can, or can you? It is another test. So can I actually interact with the interface? It's starting to beach ball quite a bit now. Oh, loading plugins. Okay. It's still loading them, I think, in the background. We can see here, actually, there's a bunch of Massive X's that are still loading. So it's still loading them into memory and doing its thing. Remember, this has got 16 gig of unified memory, which didn't used to be much, but it's quite it's more than enough, quite clearly, in modern M2 terms. So here they come. They're still loading, but they're coming up now. Okay. And I can interact with it. All the controls are working. I mean, my stupid MIDI keyboard isn't working anymore. I am suspicious of that. I do wonder if I've somehow killed the MIDI interface, maybe. That's a possibility. I need to look into that. But despite that, they're all here still. So can I still play the track? Yeah. It's working. It's still working. Let's go into here. Let's go into this instrument here, and yep, it's let me. All of the controls are still working. That's really impressive. I The problem is this video could go on and on because I don't know how I'm going to break this. I'm not sure what I need to do to break it. Let's leave it playing. The DX7, let's try and break it with loads and loads of DX7s. Loads of them. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, no. Keep going. 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 Loads and loads and loads of them. Okay. We're still playing music, and while it's loading those into memory, can I switch the tracks? That's not responding. That's not responding. Nothing's responding now. Because I have just created about 40 DX7 tracks. Oh, no. Okay, oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Everything's stopped apart from the playback. We've got a beach ball. Nothing's happening apart from it's still playing back, but I can't click anything. Have I broken it? I think I might have broken it. Ooh, the beach ball has stopped spinning. No, it's come back again. I think I might have broken it. Again, it's not warm. No sign of the fans. Oh, no, it's come back. Okay. So it's loaded all of those DX7s. I'm actually going to stop here, guys, because I don't know what else I can do. I get the impression that I could just keep adding stuff in. Is it still responding? I'm going to give up, because we'll be here all day. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll count up the tracks and then I'll give you my conclusion. But this is just crazy. Okay, so I've counted up how many tracks I've created during that terrible test, and it's 231 tracks, which is a mixture. It's mainly MIDI tracks, but it's also a few audio tracks. But the MIDI tracks, they've all got all of those, software instruments on. They've all got loads of effects on them, and it's still running. In between that time, there's not been any crashes. It's running. In fact, no, it's not running slowly. It's still going. I can still press things. It still plays back. I'm genuinely amazed by this. I've never done a stress test like this before, to be fair. So I've not done it with my 16-inch MacBook Pro. I've not sat there. Like I mentioned earlier, no one does this. If you're making music, you don't do what I just did, ever. But it does reveal how much headroom you have with this Mac. Also, it probably gives you an idea in terms of how good Logic is, how well optimized Logic is for this sort of stuff. It's probably doing lots of very clever stuff with memory management. It probably doesn't look, although it looks like I've got those 200 plus tracks here, it's probably not running all of them at the same time in memory. That would be very inefficient. So there's some clever stuff going on here, but regardless, it is still responsive. I can still play things back. I can add things in. But I think what's more impressive and what is more realistic, really, for anyone who is looking at getting an M2 Pro Mac Mini for music production, is that the experience that I had yesterday with it, where I was building this track, was just joyful, because it, like I say, apart from that one plugin crash, it didn't murmur at all. It let me get on with the process of making music, which is all I wanted from it. It was buttery smooth, and clearly it can go an awful lot further. What a machine this M2 Pro Mac Mini is for music production. Incredible. I'll be doing lots more stuff with this music setup. It will get more impressive, I promise. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell not to miss those. If you've enjoyed this very different video for me, then give it a thumbs up, please, because that really helps the channel. And I will put a link to a version of this track that I mixed yesterday in the description if you want to check it out. It's a bit strange. It's not very well mixed. It's very badly mastered, but if you want to hear what it actually sounds like, then check it out. In the meantime, if you want to check out my full review of the M2 Pro Mac Mini, keep watching for a link to that video. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time.